What's going on, people? Oh no. All right. Well, we're not working on Sokobon anyway. First. You're still first. First and last and only. Nobody else shall type anything into chat. I assume I just updated this. Yes, I did. Okay. Fingers are on the wrong keys. How's it going, people? So you could make a GUI accelerated editor front end for NeoVim. That sounds great. So, first thing to do is fix the build loop. I was making a slideshow last week, and like, the compilation loop didn't exit ever, although it did compile the thing, so I'm not sure why. Maybe we're not ever getting a complete message. Maybe that's going wrong. Uh-oh. Oh no, guys. I forgot that I was in the middle of doing this compiler modification. So I can't update the compiler. All right, well, we're going to revert the compiler, and I'll hope I go back and do that work. Look how long it takes to compile a C++ program, man. C++. Whoops, I don't want a putty session. I want this. All right. Well, yeah, my Sokoban has a merge conflict, but that's fine. I was really only doing this to get this in my command buffer. Okay, so see, it's compiling. But then it like doesn't exit from generating project, I guess, or maybe something after that. Okay, that wasn't the problem. Oh, we don't ever break from here. Although maybe that's supposed to exit. Yeah, okay, we just needed to break. That's all. Okay. That's great. So I can show you guys the slideshow program. So these were the test slides that I made a long time ago to just show off different capabilities. I did this on stream. People may remember this. And then I did this presentation last week. Really? Whoops. I ran this. See, I ran this as the argument to the compiler, which is not what we want. We want... That's when I haven't been awake. Oh. All right. So I made this presentation, which has some slides in common with a different one, but then some other things. And that was nice. But it reminded me of a few things. First of all, I owe someone slides, like I promised when I gave a talk in Taiwan that I would give them slides afterward. And I haven't done that yet. So I want to rig up a thing that'll dump out all the slides as screenshots. So we could do that. And then maybe it's time to look at presenter mode and stuff. So Ignacio, a few months ago, earlier this year, was good enough to make, was kind enough to make presenter mode work. So we have like multi-window rendering and stuff, but I've never set it up to be nice with like a good timer and showing the slides and all that. So I want to do that. I don't think we'll do both of those tonight. What was the straw that broke the camel's back and made me want to create my own slideshow program? It's just how bad PowerPoint is, like how long it takes to do anything in PowerPoint. And then how bad, like Open Office is even worse. Like I can make slides much faster in this program than I can in either of those. Export to PDF, not tonight. Like if I just want to dump images, I can use Sean's STB image write code to do that. I don't have a good PDF writer. Did people in Taiwan and Hong Kong lose the talk videos? No, but I think I didn't do a talk in Hong Kong. I just met some people for dinner. In Taiwan, I think the idea is, you know, you can video the talk, but you actually want to cut in high-res versions of the slides so that you don't have blurry versions of the slides, right, during the talk or something like that. So I promised them in any case to send it, and I haven't yet. I could like manually take all the screenshots. Let me it's that one. So the TGDF, I showed off a really early version of Braid. I showed off this ranty email that somebody sent me about how Braid sucked. I talked about how nobody wanted to publish the game. I showed early versions of The Witness. Talked about some other stuff. All right. And then I cut all this stuff from the end. So let me... Like I always have like junk slides at the end of things that I was gonna say, didn't say. All right. All right. So that was that presentation. July 10th. I need to give them the screenshots before the 3-month mark. Jeez. Will I release this to the public generally? Well, I don't have the video, but I'm hoping that they will release it. I think they want to translate the slides to Chinese as well. I don't know. I did give a talk in Singapore. That video is available. I will link it to you. I feel like there's a separate video, but here's the live stream, which you could find the whole talk in as well. Yeah, this is the Making Games in 2019 and Beyond. This slideshow is the one I did in Taiwan. So this talk is not on YouTube. It may be at some point. The other one hopefully will be. Yeah, I feel like there's maybe a better video I can link you for the Singapore one. Like I think they maybe split it out as a separate thing. But I'm not finding that link right now. Okay, anyway. So the slideshow program is still in a bit of a weird state because it kind of uses some files from Sokoban to do things. And I think I also want to change some of that. So I want to factor some more code out of Sokoban into modules that everyone can use. So for example, we have a key mapper that we use where you have a nice text file format for key remappings. And you know, that that uses like a text file format that we have a parser for that we use. And I think we'll factor both of those out at some point. Probably not tonight. Like probably the first thing I do is just make a hard-coded key like everything else in this program to do screenshots. And then we'll do the key remapping stuff on a different stream. Okay. Where are the controls? User input. So we read input, we call handle event. This is just the controls right now. They're all hard-coded. I'm going to put screenshots on F10. And I'm going to do it in a cheesy way. So if we're dumping screenshots, then every frame when we render slides, we will do some stuff. Oh wait, that we don't put the brackets. So we're going to set to the first slide, and we're just going to do it visually so I can see it go frame by frame, so I can verify that the things happened. All right. Stop dumping screenshots. It's not going to do anything right now. Okay, so we want a make, is it called make directory if it does not exist? We have such a thing in file utilities. Make directory if it does not exist. And we're just going to make it in our local path. Do we have file utilities? Yes, it's right there. So screenshots, make directory if it does not exist. Name. Okay. I guess we'll put the slide number. Okay. File name is going to be tprint, so we don't have to worry about freeing it. Directory name slash. This is where I start being sad that I didn't work on print more. Do I have a way? So for format int, minimum digit, can I print with minimum digits? Let's see. Percent dot, I guess we're going to save as PNGs. Generally, I don't know. That might not be the right call. Let's do it for now. Dumping screenshots dir name, and then format int dump index right. So that should put leading zeros on it, or I don't know if it puts spaces. I might be sad about that. We'll see. And then we're just going to print this for now. We're not going to actually screenshot and save yet. So now, if we are dumping screenshots, so we call draw slideshow, we present slideshow, we swap buffers. Update dumping screenshots. Oh, let's do dump. We won't pass the thing in because we don't really know it here. Okay. So this will just say where's slide set absolute? So user input. Current slide index. All right. Current slide index is greater than or equal to something. I don't know what yet. Then stop dumping screenshots. Okay. So this should be update dumping screenshots. What am I talking about? Okay, so what do we check if it's greater than current slide index? Who does this? current slide index. The slideshow.slides.count. Okay. I don't know. I am sure we got some stuff wrong there. Whoops. Come on, bro. Put the slash index. Right, because I didn't do this. Well, see what happens. So I hit F10. Bam. Goes through all the slides. 71. All right, well, it worked the first time. 60% of the time, it works every time. Who thought that would work? Yeah, I do need to render them anyway, and I'm using this as a cheap way to render them. It's kind of cheesy to do this, but it gives me visual feedback, which is nice. When is a stream about using new language features in Sokoban Entity System? Probably later this week. There's a couple more things I want to do before we do that stream. Is there a good reason I'm not just looping over all the slides? Because, I mean, it's kind of complicated. Like, I don't have bitmaps for the slides, right? We have to render the slides. And if you're going to do a loop around rendering the slides, that's like a loop around your main render thing anyway. You know, so I mean, I could do it that way, certainly. It's just, it would be a loop that's a different loop that calls the main rendering. And, you know, sometimes that's not great for various reasons. But it doesn't really matter. We can change it to be either way later. I probably erased my hard drive. Well, if I were in C++ and using undefined behavior, it could erase my hard drive. Okay, so that's great. Let's see if it made... Whoops. Let's see if it made the screenshots. Are we setting our working folder to somewhere else? Oh yeah, run tree. Okay, we do have a screenshots folder. It was created at 9:48 p.m. There shouldn't be anything in it yet. So that's the next step. Now, I don't know how easy it is actually going to be to screenshot. I will hope that it's not hard. I believe Ignacio did this, and I believe it works in Sokoban still. So it shouldn't be too bad, but let's see. Let's see what Sokoban does. And I hope it's all in the GL thing so that it's already shared and I don't have to like do more sharing Sokoban grossness. Let's see. So we do a similar thing also in Sokoban. If you say to do a screenshot, we say that we want a screenshot, and then the main rendering loop notices that. Right, so there's do screenshot. That's in screenshot. Okay, so let's look at that. Do screenshot. So this has a lot of complicated stuff that we don't really care about. That has to do with game development. Like we just want this. Okay. So we want get bitmap from texture. We don't want color strips. We don't want watermarks. And then we go bitmap save. That's fine. Okay, so all right, let's see, maybe those are all in the texture. Get bitmap from texture. Yep. That's in texture reader. I don't know. I don't know if that has dependencies. Let me see. Okay, we must be having render already, so I don't actually need to do this. Yeah, we have render, so we don't need that. So now bitmap save, is that here? Or? Yeah, all right. Well, what happens when we try to compile that? Oh, we haven't given it the right target and all that. All right, so let me go back to screenshot. Yeah. So we have back buffer. So let's just say I don't know if those are actually what the variables are called. No main window. All right. What is my back buffer here? It's just called back buffer. Okay. Oh, because we did multi-window rendering in Sokoban. Back buffer is, buffers. All right. Audience buffers. Oh, right, because we have two sets. Right. Okay. We have multi-window rendering here as well. Okay, sRGB. What was that? All right. I mean, we're not saving these out yet. Oh, yes, we are. We are saving these out. Wow, it might actually work. Let's see. It's taking time. Look at that, people. We shipped a feature today. What is this program we are currently working on? It is a slideshow program. In Spanish, the squiggly is always over the N. All right, well, this is great. I finally get to fulfill my promise. How big is this? Let's rename Making Games in 2019 and Beyond. Let's go 7Z it. It's 44 megs. That's kind of big. But you know, that's fine. How big are these? How big am I saving them out? (16 by 9). I don't actually know if we're like saving these compressed. That would be 4 megs if it was uncompressed. It's 2 megs. I think we're saving them with not much compression. I wonder if STB image does heavier compression. Or if I should save these as JPEG. The thing is, I want the text to be crisp, right? Let me see this. Yeah, that's much smaller. So it's like, it's the complex images that are, yeah. Stream over? Probably not. We'll do some more things. 36 minutes. We already shipped the feature in 36 minutes. And with all the fuffing around I did at the beginning. Dude, I've been procrastinating on this for months. How did it only take 30 minutes? That's crazy. All right. I'm going to put this on Dropbox. And I'm going to email. Any questions about what I did there? Sorry for taking so long, but I had to program the screenshot dumping into the slideshow program, which in principle wasn't complicated, but there was always something going on. I hope this is still useful. Thanks for inviting me to come give a talk. The slides : let me double check the slides to make sure there isn't like somehow a virus didn't put child porn in here. You know, that could happen. That could happen. I don't think so. I don't see any. All right. All right. Well, now I am no longer having that hang over my head, which is great. Image Optim is really good at losslessly compressing PNGs. Yeah, I just don't want to install dependencies for this slideshow. Well, maybe if we ship it with the thing. Is that a library or a program? It's a web service. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. There's no... See, this is the problem. There's no reason to use a web service for what software does unless your goal is to be tied to that service. You know. Is the color space correct? Good question. It shouldn't be sRGB. I mean, it looks right to me, doesn't it? It looks right. Ignacio had it set to sRGB equals false. If there's one thing that I've learned from over the years, it's that I don't actually know what sRGB means the way Ignacio uses it. Like, I always get confused every time. I got confused in the witness. I got confused in Sokoban. So, like, I'm just passing the flag the way that he passed it, and okay. These all look correct to me. If they're not, then I'm a bad person. All right. I have to close a billion windows. All right. Just make my desktop program issue RESTful API requests to the web server. What a great idea. What a great idea. Image Optim is a downloadable program. Well, maybe that web API was just a demo. I don't know. I followed the link that someone gave me, and it said RESTful API or whatever web thing. Right? Mac app or web service. I don't see non-Mac app. I certainly don't see library. So I would consider putting it in if it was a library. But other than that, I mean, you know, I can always make a Photoshop macro or an Affinity Photo macro to do it. Like if I want an actual program running. So I pretty much just took the screen buffer of the slideshow and just used STB image to write it to PNG. Yes. That is exactly what I did. Now the thing is, I did render the back buffer, which is not the same as the intermediate buffer containing the slides, but I figure that I want to show exactly what was on the screen for people who are watching the slideshow in the audience, and that would be the back buffer. So, yeah. Was that a presentation I recently gave? Yeah, I gave it in July in Taiwan. Next feature, transition, speaker notes, question mark. Yeah, I mean, I think really the next feature is key binding. Like factoring that out of Sokoban. Although, I don't know if I want to do that because the problem is, I think next feature is we hang out and chat for a little bit. The problem is my Sokoban here is in the middle of having some other changes, right? So if I factor out the key binding stuff into modules, I can't verify that Sokoban still compiles and runs. So that's not good. The reason to do key binding and stuff is that then you could put custom key binds into your slideshow, right? And have them trigger things. You could have like, this key does this thing. It'd be great. I could just use opt-to-png. It's just a simple exe. But you see, like all the programs we build here are, at least in principle, cross-platform to everywhere the compiler goes. I haven't tested this slideshow program on a different OS, but you know, we don't want to make it, you know, bound to a particular platform. We especially don't want it to depend on somebody else's commercial executable on one particular platform. So, yeah. I don't know. That was pretty good. I mean, maybe that's our programming stream for the night. That wasn't a very long programming stream, but we did something. Maybe that's how we warm up the programming streams again, since it's been a while since we did one. You can make art assets in PowerPoint. Can you do that with this program? I thought not. Yeah, I just made a bunch of textures, PNG textures. Yeah, no, this is really great. Okay, you know what? Let's also dump out the slides for the presentation, what I just gave. Oh, you know what? Hold that thought. There are some last minute changes to that slideshow on my laptop. I know that because I put a title slide up and I probably changed some formatting on a few other things, and I guess I never checked it in. So let me check in those slides off the laptop. Why am I sitting here pressing the power button like an idiot 5 times trying to get my laptop to turn on? In the 1980s, you push the switch and your computer turns on. Why are we in this world now? What do I think of Yahtzee's 12 games in 12 months thing that he is doing? I don't know anything about that. If you mean he's making 12 games in 12 months, I guess that's fine. That's the sort of thing that people do sometimes. It could be a fun exercise. I personally prefer to go deeper into individual ideas than do a bunch of random things, but that's my personal style. You know, I mean, I definitely have done games in less than a month before. You know, I've done 2-week, 3-week games. I've done weekend games. It's just not my preference. Okay, so let me commit from here. Dude, I made changes to the slideshow program. All right. Update slideshow and slideshow program, and then I'm gonna hope that I don't have any conflicts. I also modified first. Let me revert that. Revert. We haven't actually checked in our source changes. on here either. Okay. Anyway, so no. Okay, postpone. All right, fine. Fine. Okay, okay. This is your standard stupid source merge, where in that build I added this at the end of the file. In this build I added this at the end of the file. Subversion doesn't know which one to put first. And the answer is, it totally doesn't matter. Because our programming language doesn't care, but Subversion doesn't know that our programming language doesn't care. All right. All right, there we go. Now I have a title slide. Now we're dumping. Pixel transfer is synchronized with 3D rendering. Oh, I forgot to take the junk slides off the end. I'll just delete them from the screenshot dumps. All right. Oops. Screenshots. This one was shorter. Bam. I'm going to make a folder. This one was called Games and the Future of Education. And I'm going to put slides because I'm also going to get the audio off my phone that I saved, and I'm going to edit it. Maybe we'll do that on stream. Did I have the Schrodinger equation? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Text outside of window in one slide. If you mean at the very end, that's one of the slides I deleted. It's like I didn't bother formatting it, you know. Like all the rest of these, they're fine. Okay. Let's delete the blank slide. Put the audio. So I'm probably going to re-give this. So this presentation was not recorded, like not videoed. I have what is probably a low quality voice memo here on my phone, and I'm going to edit that, but probably not on stream. I'm going to edit that, and I'm going to make it available to the attendees of the thing. But in terms of everybody else, I think I would prefer to re-give a high-quality version where we video it, and it'll be the revised second edition, so you'll get the higher quality version of the talk. It'll be great. Defaults to 8, set to higher for more compression. Yeah. We could definitely probably turn it up. Didn't I give this talk with a translator? No, this talk that I just dumped the screenshots for is from Saturday. This is a new talk. I gave this in the US of A. You're like 10 minutes behind, man. The one you're thinking about, we already just sent to the people in Taiwan. So that's how fast we're moving here. Would I do a talk at Hereticon? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they will invite me there or anything like that, but if they did, I totally would. I like that kind of thing. I mean, that kind of thing is very dependent on the quality of attendees, right? But if the attendees are good, it could be really good. And, Founders Fund probably would pick good attendees. I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't, but I hope that they would. And I think they said it's in New Orleans, which I haven't been to in a really long time. Like, probably since 2000 or something. Where can you watch Saturday Talk? I just said it wasn't videoed, man. It doesn't exist. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a higher quality version later. Boo? Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It wasn't the kind of place that records things like that. It's okay, though, because, this one, I prepped it in a relatively short period of time. Didn't quite have enough sleep when I gave it. So it's probably better to wait for the better version of it. And there are some things that probably would be better that I'm just remembering now. So version 2 of this talk is going to be bigger and better. Curious if you have a favorite talk or two that I've given. It's hard to say. I've given a really lot of talks, like a lot. And because of that, I don't remember them all that well. Like talks that I gave like 20 talks ago, I really don't remember. Of things I gave recently, probably the Moscow talk is my favorite. Although the one I just did in Singapore was fun because, I showed really old versions of Braid and the Witness, and that was fun to do. But the Moscow talk is certainly my most popular talk that I've ever given by like a wide margin. That I don't know what that means about whether it's good or not, because the most popular things are not always the best things. But it is certainly the one with the most YouTube views, we'll put it that way. Am I attending Indiecade in LA? I have not been there in a really long time. There's a small probability that I might go, but it's very small. You had the local game dev group watch the talk on truth in game design. Oh, cool. Nice. Was Moscow the downfall of civilization talk? Yes, it was. It was. Showing your game there. Well, congratulations for getting picked to show. I'm sure they get a lot of submissions these days. Like back when I went to Indiecade, like indie development hadn't totally exploded yet, so there were not nearly the number of indie developers that there are today, right? So anytime you had something like that, the number of submissions was way less. Whereas today, I'm sure it's crazy. I think the popularity means it's more relevant to more people than most of my talks. That could be true. It is definitely, it definitely crosses over into general software issues. I do still do a fair amount of video game stuff, but it does cross over into general software issues. And I talk about some historical things that are fun to know about. in the beginning. I always wish I added more of those. If I knew that I'd have like 8 more minutes, I mean, it was good to have Q&A, but I could have eaten up like 8 more minutes in that talk. So there's just a couple more points that would have been important to make. But you always think of those things later. You're exhibiting at the night games. Cool. So if Indiecade is still in downtown Culver City, really the best thing is the gelato shop that's right there. That's always one of the best parts. Let me check in the code. Update slideshows, dumps screenshots from slideshows by pressing F10. If someone hits F10 and doesn't know what it does, they'll get very frustrated as the thing is unresponsive. You know, there's certain things I didn't do. That's probably bad. So, okay, here's the thing. I should finish this. We'll do a little more programming. If I'm dumping screenshots and you start pressing the arrow keys, you might like skip around between slides and stuff and cause them all not to get dumped. Like watch. Watch, I'll show you. So we already moved this folder to a different thing. So there's no screenshots folder here. So if I do this one, and I start dumping screenshots, then I start slamming the down arrow, we're going to skip some, I think. Yeah, oh, we skipped so many. So then if I go to the screenshots folder, that's what we got, right? Because we're not disabling controls when dumping screenshots. I don't think we want to disable all the controls because we want to let you Alt F4 and quit the program and stuff. So we want to go to user input. And we want to say, oh, I guess, so Alt F4 is right here. And then these are all stuff that's going to screw things up. So we're just going to do this. That is hardly, whoops. That variable is private down here, so we're going to put it there. All right. So let's delete these. Well, no. Don't view them, delete, delete. All right, so then we're gonna F10, and I'm gonna slam the down arrow, and it's not gonna matter. It's not, I love that shot from Mulholland Drive. Dude, that's such a good movie. Mulholland Drive, I don't make movies like that anymore. All right, so we fixed that. Ship it. Don't navigate slides when dumping screenshots. Got any tips for getting exposure for an indie game? You gotta hustle, man. How do you usually handle balancing your desire to work on engine features improvements versus game logic games? That is definitely a thing. But usually at any given time, there are things that seem more urgent to do and things that seem less urgent to do. Like right now on the game, there's technical stuff that I need to do that is blocking design stuff. Like there's certain design stuff that we want to do that is very painful until I finish a certain category of tasks. So that's what I've been working on during the day. Sometimes, though, even regardless of what the priorities appear to be, sometimes I'm just not in the mood to do a certain kind of thing, and then I will happily do a different thing. Like mood maintenance is important too, and if it's not like critical or an emergency, even if I feel like one particular thing is more important, if I really want to do game design today, I'll do that, you know? Because you do good work when you're doing what you want to do, you know? At least I find that. What about videos? How do those get dumped? They wouldn't. So the thing is, like we could copy the video file over and just call it. So here's the thing is videos can be put in sub areas of slides, and you could have multiple videos on a slide or something. So when we support videos, which we don't yet, and that'll maybe be an interesting stream is to support those. I don't want to do it tonight because again, we started late. I'll be tired if we do it. But I guess we would put like, we probably would want to dump a picture of the entire slide just so you could see, like if there was a video and a chart or something, you know, what the relationship was. And then save out like 011 underscore video underscore and then the name of the video or something, you know, like save both so that the information is all there. Because if you just save the video and skip the slide, you may well have skipped something about presentation. Unless, of course, the video is just tiled over the entire screen, in which case maybe we could be smart and detect that and not dump the slide. Time to do embedded videos and slideshows. How long could it possibly take? 42 seconds. It's a good question. So here's the thing. It would first require compiling that single file MPEG-1 library, which, because that's dealing with C, who knows how long that's going to take, because I don't really compile stuff in fresh projects anymore. So we would compile that. We'd put it into modules. I would use it to play some test videos. I would build the video render feature into the slideshow. But the thing is, we also want audio eventually. Like we could do one level of support that's just like video without audio, right? And that would be fine. But we also are going to want to play audio. And I'm not sure if we have audio running in the slideshow program. We may not. We may have, I don't know if we ever did. So that would be like an extra, there's like several bits to it. I don't see any audio. So we would have to do that. And that's probably not that huge of a task either, but I probably would stage it. I would do video first, then audio. Is this a simple core, shunt, technical complexity stuff out of core talk? No, that's probably later this week. Later this week. I'm going to go to bed. This was a short stream, but you know, we're warming back up the programming streams. Are there any on-topic technical questions I can ask before ending? Or answer, that I can answer, not ask? I've only been online 6 minutes. I've been online a bit more than that. Have it online 7 minutes. 7-minute abs. Is 7 minutes not enough to get your abs pumped? Yeah, we'll do more soon. Like I said, I want to do this stream later this week about the entity system thing. And we might do something else too. We might just do some regular programming. Twitch push notifications are not timely. I know, it sucks. All right, thanks everybody for coming by. We will do more soon. See ya. Would I eventually bring out the screenshot export so it doesn't lock the whole program? Maybe. I'm just not sure that that's worth it. It would be possible to do. It's just more engineering. I'm not sure it's worth it. Like, I also like keeping things simple. We'll see. Bye.